Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Stationeers. In between the episodes I've done a little bit of work on the crafting room. At the moment I'm crafting cables over there. Also my clock isn't functioning, but that is only until we have one of the switches. So either at 24 o'clock or 12 o'clock it's gonna switch into a normal mode again. That sometimes happens when I do the reloading. I'm not sure as to why it does. But anyways, here we have the crafting room. It is actually finished. It is also fully lit up. So if I disable my flashlight, you can see we have more than enough lights to actually get around here. Also, I decided to make a second flooring completely just like that. So we have our 3 machines right there. Of course, the upper part isn't quite done just yet. I actually intend to make another wall right here on the top, but having a window so I can actually see the time from this room as well. So that is basically what I've done in between the episodes. I also put a locker here with all of my spray paint, and I also added a couple more copper units. Of course, I had to collect copper like a crazy madman, so now we have 170 once again, but we're using it up, of course. Now, today I want to do something useless and crazy just because I'm really up for it. I want to get this place to work properly. Now, at the moment we have plenty of power, I would say. Look at that, it is even 100% at this point. I didn't even realize, but it means we are producing more power than we are using, and that means I want to set up the overall ratio and the overall watts for the entire system. Now, if I remember correctly, I might actually have disconnected these guys. No, they are still connected, but I have to check if properly. Okay, here we go. So we still have to hook it up to this, and then I guess I want to make the system right here, because we have plenty of space here. So let's see, we're gonna need a whole bunch of these cables. Give me that, thank you very much. We're still crafting. And I guess we want to start maybe as of this point. So let's have a corner right there. And this one here we need to cut and make into a 3-way junction. Yeah, I guess so. Something like that. Great. So we're going to cut this one here as well and hook it up. Just like that. Beautiful. Now, what do we exactly need to do? We basically need to add all of the ratios and divide it by 5 in order to get the percentage. And then, of course, we also need to add all of the watts, but we don't need to divide them because we want to get the overall watts. So let's see how we want to set this up. We're going to need a whole bunch of processors for this. So we have, for instance, our first watt. So, let me see. I might want to start right here, to be honest. So we have the first battery plus the second battery, then we have the result plus the third battery, plus the fourth battery, plus the fifth battery, and then we need to divide the result. And the result needs to be divided by a specific number, which we have in this memory unit right there. Am I correct about this? I'm not quite sure, but we need to hook it up anyway, so let's do that. And this is gonna take a whole bunch of cabling, so I might even have to make more of those. It's a pity. We just stopped crafting, that is quite unfortunate, but we can make more. Let's do about 40 or so. I'm gonna use them up anyways, eventually. While we are waiting for the cables, I guess we can already set up the other thing, which was the watts. So we need everything except for the division. That means I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these modules, right? So I definitely need one more processor. Let's actually go ahead and craft that. And there we go, we have all of the units in place and all of the cabling in place. Well, there's actually one processing unit missing, but I'm still crafting the cables, which we can put in here. There we go, there's the processing unit I was talking about. And we can place that right there. Now, everything is hooked up. Of course, nothing is programmed just yet. This is going to be a little bit fiddly. So let me think about this. What if we gave this a nice naming scheme? Oh man, this is going to be horrible. I'm gonna call this math 1 plus 2. No, let's call it ratio 1 plus 2. Then we are gonna call this ratio 2 plus 3. And so on and so forth, I guess. This is gonna be ratio division, the last math gate, and this one here is gonna be the ratio division number. Or let's just call this memory 5. And the same thing with the second ones, we're gonna call this watts 1 plus 2, etc. And watts 4 plus 5, there we go. That should be all of the naming, so let's get rid of that tool, and we want to take forth our screwdriver. Now let me see, maybe the easiest thing we can set up is this number right here, which should be 5, there we go, and then we need to start right here with the input being the ratio of battery 1. Now I have tons and tons of stuff in this circuit, so this might be a little bit agonizing, and therefore I'm going to skip this for you. Okay, so the first line is done and we end up with 0.999, etc. So this is going to be the percentage of our overall charge at the moment. It is nighttime soon, I think. Yeah, in about an hour or so it is nighttime, so we're going to use up some of that charge. We're still going to need a brighter in order to actually display it right there. Anyways, it's time to do the second row, which is less complicated. We only need to take all of the values from our reader of the charges of these batteries, and we're gonna end up with the results. So I'm gonna be right back once I found those. And the second row is done as well, which means we only need 2 logic writers to finish this. So I'm gonna put one here, and I guess if we swap this a little bit, it is still gonna be more or less convenient. Good, that means I'm gonna need a couple more cables. How many do I still have? 3. That's not enough. I should have known. Another 20 on the way, though I'm slowly but surely losing my gold and copper again. And there we go, everything hooked up. Time to program these guys. Now, I don't think I named the displays just yet. So this is gonna be my overall ratio, and this is gonna be my overall charge. Let's set this up. Our input needs to be the watts 4 plus 5. So the last one here. Watts 4 plus 5. So this is going to be our charge. That means the output should be the display with the charge. Overall ratio. No, we want overall charge. There we go. And the variable is going to be the settings. So if I enable this and also enable this guy, then we can see the charge. Of course, it is not in the correct mode just yet, but we're going to fix that in a second. We're going to do the same thing with this guy. The input needs to be this one here. The ration division. What is this? I called this ration division. Oh man, this is a beauty mistake. We need to rename this ratio division. I almost did it again. Ratio division, we got it already, so let's find the overall ratio, just like that. And the variable, again, needs to be the setting. So if we enable this, then there we go. We have about 84% of our overall charge at the moment. And that's pretty good to know, at least in my opinion. Good, now we just need to swap the mode, so we can see this in percentage and this as a real number. That means we need to have our logic switch and swap it to a dial. I'm just gonna place this right there. This is just gonna be temporary and 1 writer, I guess. Let's grab some more cabling right there. Thank you very much. And we just took this up temporarily. Alright, here we go. I got this set up. Let's go ahead and get our input. First of all, this is gonna be from the dial. There we go. This was actually pretty late in the list. I'm not sure how this list actually gets composed, but holy cow, this is going to be the last thing I'm going to do in this circuitry. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose the overview. Anyways, our output should be the first display. Let's do the ratio first, I guess. Yeah. So overall ratio is going to be the first thing. And this time we want to swap the mode. So let's go ahead and actually do that. I'm going to turn this on. And if we choose to increase the dial, something should change. So dial mode 1, can I increase that? There we go. 83%, that's already what I wanted to see. So we can shut this off and we search for the overall charge now. We still want to do the mode and let's see, I think this needs to go into mode 2. So let's add 1 to the dial. I'm gonna turn this on and swap this into mode 2 in order to see the megawatts. That's pretty cool. 3.6 times 4 plus the 700 we have here, the 0.7 I guess. Yeah, that comes pretty close, so I guess we can trust this number. The question is, yeah, we are still gaining, look at that, we're actually gaining the megawatts very quickly at this point. I like it. Great, so I'm glad I'm not always listening to you guys, because that is an utter waste of power what I'm doing here. And a lot of you were screaming at me when I did the first implementation of the system, but what you gonna do? I love it. So that means I want to cover up this mess, right? Do we still have like walls? Oh, Jesus. Come on. Man, I cannot get past this freaking sensor. Let's just place it here. I want my walls and I want steel sheets. We don't have too many left, I have to admit. But if I can cover up some of these guys, then I'm actually glad. Gonna place the flooring all over here. Though I actually still want to fix this here. This, I don't want to leave it like that. Let's see, this one here shouldn't be a junction, but it should just be a simple corner. Something like that. And the rest we can take apart again. I don't need this anymore. I've never had a display switch the mode on its own accord, so we should be fine. There we go. Everything is moved out of the way. Let's just place the last of the flooring here and hopefully get to cover everything up. I actually don't have enough steel sheets, but there we go. It's looking much better already, I have to say. Overall power? Oh yeah, I like it. Oh man, let's search for some more steel sheets. I also implemented a door right here and there, as you can see, but do we have more steel? I think I sorted out everything. Here we have some more gratings. I sorted out these as well. Yeah, here I have some iron stuff. I don't need that. We want construction walls and the steel sheets. So I guess we now used up everything we had from our previous base. Now we have to construct new parts. So that is intriguing. But maybe we can still go ahead and wrap this up here on the top. I kind of would like to finish the crafting room completely. Which means right here, let me see, right here I want to have windows. So let's add 1 and 2 windows right there. And I guess we can swap these around and add them on the other side as well. That's just something we have to do. And this we can already finish because it requires iron frames, no, actually iron sheets and glass. Let me see, I want to do the back one first, just like that. Oh yeah, we can definitely polish and beautify this room a little bit. Let me go ahead and add a couple of things to the crafting queue right here. We should have enough steel in order to produce some. So we're gonna go ahead and do steel sheets. I want to have like 30 more or so. And we're also gonna do some more walls. I think I find them almost at the bottom. Construction kit, walls, come on, right there. Let's make about 20 walls. Yeah, look at that. I like that. So we can actually close off this room. Why the heck not? We could even, you know, to save some battery. Oh, actually, I need to do the ceiling here still. Should we do a glass ceiling is the question. I think a glass ceiling right here would be fitting. So we're gonna need tons of glass in the end. I guess in the meantime, I'm cleaning up some stuff here. It's about time. Now, as for this room up here, we need a little bit more lighting, but I think I'm gonna add that right here, to be honest with you, right here in the back. But we want walls here in the end, and I guess another door would be fitting here. So, do I still have a door? I don't think so. We can add that to the crafting queue. Now, this corridor admittedly is a little bit dark. I guess we should hang up at least a light here above the door, and then I guess on the opposite side. And that might already be enough, though I'm not too sure. The lights don't reach too far. I want to at least finish this room in today's episode, so I guess that's what I'm gonna focus on right now. Nice and beautiful. We might actually make windows out of these guys as well, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna save a little bit on materials I don't have quite. So give me that back. Thank you very much. Everything is gone. Beautiful. Composite window, something like that. And we need to do this for both of the sides, of course. Let me add a couple more of these walls, we desperately need them. But right now I'm only interested in finishing the window front right here. Something like that. And now I should always be able to see the time and also my power. Now, of course, this thing here isn't quite right. How do I get rid of that? Come on, thank you. We could add you right here instead. That's where we need to continue. Yeah, that's another point where we definitely need more lights. Eventually, I want to be able to just walk around without any lights and, you know, potentially also no space helmet, but that is less likely because pressurizing huge amounts of rooms is just not useful in this game. There we go. The corridor is also done. I actually like that with the staircase and then the door beneath it. Now, as for the door, we might already be able to place it. I think I'm almost done with the crafting here. Yeah, look at that. The door is in the making right now. So we should be able to place it here on the top, but then hook it up from the bottom, if I'm not completely wrong. Let me see, this is facing the wrong way, right there. And there we go, this is the hook up spot. So we need to take our cables, which I crafted a bunch of. We were all out in the previous episode, if you remember. And we have the upper door hooked up as well, haven't we? Yeah, there we go. It is green. The question is, do we want to set up another set of gratings in order to hide the cabling? And I think that is a good idea. It shouldn't make the room too low in my opinion, but let's see. So we want to swap the direction of the gratings. Actually, can I do this like that? Yes. So it is the same direction as above, because I kind of like the light shimmering through. Something like that. Yeah, the room feels not as tall as before, I have to admit, but it is better because the cabling is hidden. And I think I misplaced one. Yeah, right there. Come back. Now, how do we want to do the upstairs? Probably with a little sunroof. Yeah, that is a good question. I kind of want to finish the roofing here as well. What if we added windows here in the center and everything else is gonna be normal wall? Now, let me see how much stuff I still have. We have 15 walls. Oh, that's not enough, right? That's 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 21. I need more stuff. Holy bejeez. 20 more walls, 20 more steel sheets. There we go. However, we can already begin with what we have. I'm gonna make one layer around the entire room of normal walls, and the center pieces are gonna be windows. There we go. I just had enough in order to actually do the outer layer. That makes me happy. 13 steel sheets. Let's hope for the best. Boing, boing, boing. Ah, it's coming along, guys. Not enough to finish it, but it is in the working. Give me some time, guys. Now, right here, as I said, we want to have the windows. We don't need to do the upper part just yet because, well, we never get to see it. We can also already finish this because we have the iron and the glass available. Yeah, I think that was a good idea to have some windows as well. I'm gonna solve the light problem off camera, for instance, right here. We definitely want another light, and then it's probably already gonna be enough, because light is shimmering through the gratings here. Quite a bit of it, actually. I'm also gonna do the ceiling here in the corridor with mostly windows, so we get a little bit more sunlight during the day, but also just for aesthetic purposes. And I actually just made enough walls in order to finish this. This was my last wall. Now the steel sheets are being crafted, so I can finally finish this. And once we've done that, I have to say I'm gonna be pretty happy. Good. First room to finish is the crafting room top part, right there. Completely finished, except for the lighting. I need 2 more steel sheets to also finish the corridor, and I guess we can already do the windows while we are waiting for this. Oh, I'm actually running out of glass. That's not good. Though we have a lot of silicon. There we go. The last of the steel sheets I need... There we go. Last of the steel sheets I need have arrived, and we have finished this room as well. Oh man, look at that. It's amazing. This is what I call a proper base so far. I mean, it's looking good. There's still gonna be the garden stuff we are gonna add, but we have plenty of stuff for that. So this is my gas room, and then over here, yeah, right here is where we are gonna have the greenhouse. And of course that's gonna be much more revamped contrary to what we had before. But yeah, I guess guys, with that out of the way, it's time to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.